Question your intellect, fool. If you think my skin's a threat, you pedophiles and get 5 to 10 and we're getting killed over cigarettes. It's so sad, so sad. You see, black power's my dad, and white Wilshire's my mum. How you gonna kill a man with no gun? If I put my hands up, it's no stun. Rest in peace to Mark Duggan. The system's still corrupt. White suits are in closets, the uniforms are changed up. New reform, they blame us. What black man do you know with a chopper? Tell me who's importing this stuff. Last night's crime scene, that was a horror. But I ain't holding no grudge, I wanna see unity in my borough. It's time my people woke up. When a black kid kills a black kid, don't you know we get double life? Can I live till I'm 25? Can my offspring have a better ride? You know, like a hot spring when a genocide. Why? They gotta go that far. But when cops kill, who police the law? My black life matters just as much as yours.
I can't breathe, don't shoot. 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 I can't breathe, don't shoot.
Yo, right about now, you're tuned into Street Education. This is Nottingham Kingdom spot. More lions, more lionesses to the road, yeah. Right about now we're trying to teach the people them, the roadman them, the elders and the youngsters. It's about one love, one unity, you with me? So right about now we're getting people to come out to speak, to give the people them a little knowledge from the streets and from obviously all walks of life, because that's what it's about, each one teach one, and bringing unity back to the community and bringing love, you with me, and oneness like how we used to be. So right about now we've got one of our brothers, one of our generals, one of our lions, you know, from Nottingham City, you know, St. Anne's. Yeah, I'm gonna shout out to man like Two Tone. Obviously he's gonna introduce himself to you and let you know a little bit about himself. So you know, more love, more powerful coming to Kingdom spot, you know, because real kings do real things, you know. So respect for coming out and shouting out and say, yeah, you want to come and do a little interview with the family, then you know, because that's what it's about. The family uniting, you with me? All the generals, you with me? From hood to hood, ends to ends, you with me? City to city, you with me? Oneness is the key star, you with me? So, yeah man. For those who don't know you two, to introduce yourself please, my brother, you with me, and let them know you be like.
Yeah, well, Two Tone, obviously. I'm a resident in Nottingham, so I grew up in St. Anne's. Yeah, I make music. I'm a poet, or you can call it an experimental rap UK artist. Yeah, man. Touch loads of different genres, and yeah, been doing that for a good 10 years now. You get me? Probably 10 years getting on.
Definitely, so, man. He's a very influential person, you with me. So if you don't know, look into who Two Tone is, you with me. All the YouTube's videos are out there. You can see his music videos. Obviously, he's a part of Educated Fools as well. So shout out to man like Dan, you with me, all day, every day, you with me. One love straight. So yeah, tell them a little bit about obviously your music, what you do. Obviously, like you said, you're a bit of obviously you got lots of things you do. You do poetry, rap. You've got various talents where you're gifted with your words, you with me, so yeah. You're very influential. You've got a lot of man them who listen to what you say, and lots of women who listen to you, because you inspire a lot of people, you with me, younger and elders. Yeah. So just tell them a little bit about your projects and what you do, and you with me. Yeah,
I think with the way I like to do things is I focus very much on like delivery and the intricacy of words and wordplay. You get me? That's very important to me, because obviously spoken word and words, it can have a massive effect on people. You get me? Obviously music and instrumentals bring another side to things that can like create different vibrations and moods. You get me? For how people feel. There's not just any one way. You get me? I go. Sometimes you might hear me on something that's very more conscious, and you get me delivering a specific message, and then there's other times, like I say, we all enjoy like partying, or whatever it is, you get me. So
very versatile.
You get me. So different vibes. I touch different vibes, and obviously people who listen to the music I've done previously, and even now they'll be able to recognise that in the music. You get me. I think it's still very important to put across messages alongside.
And that's what I just about to say, because obviously this is what keeps man like yourself, and that's why obviously I respect you all day, every day, because you always, even though you touch many different genres of music, up tempos where obviously sometimes I might think it's like a little bit of hype because obviously it's a party kind of thing, but no matter what kind of music you touch, you always got something to either teach them or a message, like you said, because you choose your words very carefully and cleverly too. Because you're a smart kid, you with me, so that's what people need to start doing, you with me, thinking about what they obviously projecting out there, you with me. You don't just project anything and anything, you with me, so I respect you for that thing there, you with me? Straight.
Definitely.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, like I say, we're just keeping things moving. Like you said, there's an educated force. There's that's with me, Jar and Littles. We do our music and Nick Littles, Nick the producer. Obviously, we do a lot of work at CRS with Big Trev, as we were speaking about before the camera was rolling. So yeah, we've been there for many years. You get me? And there's other banners now, like there's something we've got going on like called Rage Life. The name can get perceived in many different ways because people would determine or would perceive rage to be like anger or you get me, or frustration or any of these type of things. Not to say that it isn't at the same time, but my understanding of the word and the lifestyle of it is that a rage life can be any life. It can be any type of life. It's the man living on the street corner, you get me, it's the guy turning up in the club, it's the single mom, you get me, trying to raise 2 kids, you get me, it's any type of life, so it's not any one way. So that's another umbrella what, you get me, we're working with at the minute just to try and, you get me, bring the powers together, like you say, because there's so many creatives in the city.
Definitely.
But if you're doing your thing over there, you're doing this over there, we're doing that over there, you get me, it's still powerful, but like things like this, platforms like obviously More Life, you get people in, you start building the bridges, building the connections, and it just makes everything more vibrant, more stronger, and the collective energy just raises, you get me?
Yeah man, serious. So everybody who's out there, if you're doing your little power works over there, salutes to you all day, every day, but like the brother says, we have to come together now, especially as this generation, and start pushing ourselves out there to make people know what we're doing, so each one can support each other and each one can help each other, because it's time to rise up, it's time to build together, you with me, and change obviously what the elders used to do in the sense of each to their own, you with me, like certain people are building over there and certain people are building over there. We need to start breaking that chain, you with me, and know that it's good to build from different hoods and different cities and different ends, you with me, because that's the only way how we can rise up and push ourselves, you with me, serious to our full potential, you with me, serious man.
Like, I think when we've, a lot of the time I see so much like people will have a little thing like and want to protect it, you know what I mean, like this is mine, you get me, and they don't want to lose control of that or whatever, but I think you can never like lose power supporting someone else or them supporting you, you get me, it will only gain like your followers, some of them might be into what I'm doing, but at the same time when I'm rapping with you, there's going to be people from my side who are going to be like, yo, but I feel what they're doing, and it's just gonna amalgamate and build, you get me, so you get me.
Together into the key, for real. Yeah man, you're right. So what kind of projects have you got in the pipeline at the moment then?
In the pipeline at the moment, I've just released a video with Young T and Bugsy, you know them. That's called Black Man's Radio. Again, that's more of a you get me, like a party vibe, and just you get me, this up tempo, having fun with it. You get me, getting creative with the visuals.
Yeah, look, windows down, system up, seat back. Yeah, I'm riding shotgun, bitches in the back, bitches in the back, bitches in the back. Yeah, I'm riding shotgun, bitches in the back. You know the alloy's looking real nice, and the bumper's dropping real low. They're my bitches, not my Batmobile. I've been robbing from I went to school. Give me space, I need altitude. Yeah, she bad and she got attitude. Look at my dad, show me some gratitude. I'm just listening to Pat, I ain't mad at ya, I ain't mad at
you get, man, obviously them two are doing very big things at the minute, obviously getting signed, etc. So I thought it was a good day, and it was nice to work with them too. Obviously they came from the same studio, and we all work out and stuff, so you get me, it's nice to see them progressing and doing big things, you get me. So there's that, obviously like I said, there's so much different different music we've got. You know, when we've been recording for years, so much we have released, so much we've written that's all still relevant. Because remember, anytime we're writing, it's got to be relevant not only for, it is for now, but like if you're writing things that are relevant, it's always going to be relevant.
You want it to
know what I
live
mean?
on, yeah.
So it's not nothing that's just a quick fix.
Relevant for now,
Guys that. So we've got music there in the pipeline that does can last, you get me? Obviously the sounds may change because of the sound what's relevant at the time, you know what I mean? But the content will always be relevant, or I like to think so. Another one we've just done, we shot the other day, that was Danny Welbeck. It's a tune called Danny Welbeck. You know what I mean? It's another one with like a catchy hook. The visuals are creative and different things like that. So that's just them ones there, just to like bring about a buzz, you get me? And then you can drop your EPs and your different bodies of work, like your albums, where you're gonna hit them with like the content and the lyrical, you get me, skills and just different metaphors and punchlines and stuff like that for, you know, the people who want to sit down and just listen, you get me? I think to have an effect now, you have to still kind of stay relevant with what's going on, to be able to get a message across that's going to be able to touch the masses at the same time. But as long as people, even if one person's listening, you get me to the word, then you get me having an effect.
Yeah, definitely. You got somebody in it, each one teach one. So even if you taught one person, it's better than you didn't teach nothing. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, definitely. So that's real talk. So.
So yeah, it's a good 10 years. It's a good 10 years.
You've been doing it for a minute.
Yeah, for a minute. I think obviously when I was about I was joined LRG, Lyrics, Rhymes and Grime. It's like, you know, like so old school, Warrico, shout out Warrico, Vandal.
Warrico, you need to come and do interviews though.
No, definitely. A lot of knowledge there, Warrico, man. He taught us a lot back at that stage, because he was like, you get a mentor for us at that time, you get me? So that was when I was about 18, was with them. I was taking it serious then, you get me? Always writing and stuff like that. And then I took a little bit of a break about 24, 25, you get me? Just other things going on, you get me? So, but yeah, now, just recently, past year or so, you get me? I've just been back to the pen, you get me? Writing, getting things done. With music, it's one of them things, because you got to balance like your life with music in it. And we're not as privileged to have like big studios in our mansions, like you got the big American artists, or even some of the London artists have now, where they can just do it 24/7. You get me? We have to work and balance different things out. So I think it's finding that time, but you can never let work take over, you know, your creative output, because then you just get dried up, you get me? That's my expression, you get me? That's my release, you get me? So I have to stay within them sectors. Yeah, so it's good. Yeah, good 10 years. Good 10 years on and off. Yeah, it's mad. I always say this anytime I do an interview. It's weird, because it was when I was in school. Dan, who I'm like, get me, just co-D with at the minute, it's been forever, you get me? It's like, I was listening to him when I was in school. People would come in with their phones and like, you know, who's this? And obviously we lived in the same area, but you get me, went to the same junior school as him. You get me, so he was just someone I looked up to, even though like he's just a year older than me. You get me, I was like, yeah, I'm just used to listen to Jar. And then obviously started going to the same studio and stuff, and then you get me, it was like, yeah man, you got something going on, you get me, went on a track with him, and then the rest is history from there, you get me, with this, you get me, we made some, I would say, good Nottingham based, they've been big tracks, you get me, for Nottingham, you get me, so I'm for Nottingham, so, yeah, we've made some good work together.
Gonna need a board for my concentration, we long for greatness, not one for vapors, I'm gone for days, but still got my babies, I'm contemplating. Cool, chillin'. They've got to rate it, it's not for haters. I put it down just like hot potatoes. They're curling up like a box of quavers, turning up till I pop your speakers. Non-believers get lost, your demons can't sit with us without posture defects. Curling up like a box of quavers, turning up till I pop your speakers. Non-believers get lost, your demons can't sit with us without posture defects.
Just got like a inseparable bond that you get me, built each other and
gem together.
Yeah, you get me, and there's been a lot of growth there. So yeah, he was the main one really. It's funny because I don't really listen to much much music. Like I don't really take my time to go and like listen to man.
Yeah.
Jar will even he'll crack joke at me like, oh you don't know this, or you don't know this American artist from then, and I'm like no, because I want that type of person who used to listen to music, hard hip hop or none of that old school hip hop. I want really that. You get me? So it's kind of organic at the same time, the way my writing style and my deliveries came about. Because it's obviously influenced, because obviously my mum would play like obviously reggae, but even people like Elvis. So the type of music what got played in my household was it was a variety. You get me? So it's like it's influenced by many different sectors, but not very much hip hop. You know what I mean? It's just music in general, like no caps on it, or you get me? It's not narrowed down into any one.
So then, right, then, cool. Then, saying listening to those kind of drama music, like what you said, certain like reggae or maybe like hip hop swing when you was on about like Elvis.
Yeah.
Don't you think growing up from those time of music back in the day when you was a youth, then to music today, that it's been tainted and poisoned and diluted to where there's no message behind, like all those elders had something to give you, a message or something of happiness or some positive vibe some way, somehow.
Yeah, of course, like even like Barry Salmon, obviously was one of my favorites. That's one of my favorite artists now to date. You get me? So obviously I see that with music now, even when I'm in the car or with my nieces or you get me, the little ones, when I hear some of the music what's on, sometimes that's just got to get locked up, because you get me, that was never, I can't remember a time when I was hearing things like such profanities and sexual content, you get me, that's so accessible now to the young people. You know, I can't remember a time like that, but now it seems it's the norm for these young people. You know, you see the Instagram memes with young kids as young as 5 talking about twerk this and twerk that, and you get me, etc. So the content what's being pushed out now is very different to what was then, and there's not much message. Obviously it's changed so much, so it's tough, but I think obviously like as elders and parents and uncles and aunties, we've got to still have certain control on the intake of what you get the youngers are taking in, because it has an effect. It shapes, it won't necessarily shape their whole future, but it will shape them in certain ways. You get me? What you listen to and what you take in, like especially for young people, like a sponge in it, so they can't really declutter and decipher the messages they're listening.
Because they're innocent, aren't they?
They're innocent. You get me? And the sponge just soak it up. If they're hearing bang bang bang, it's bang bang bang. That's what's good. That's what feels like it will even. It's where that will even feel good to them, because they're innocent, like you say. So it can seem like the norm. So yeah, I think as elders and that we have to control like that. It's hard to, because it's so vast. They go to school, all the kids are listening to whatever. It's on their laptops, it's on their iPads. You get my support.
So then, but then look at, like you said, to go to school. But today in age of school, all that is going on in school, like you said, like the norm.
Yeah.
So then, if you take it back to obviously back in the day when probably we was growing up in school, schools wasn't as bad. Like
no.
It may be bad to a degree, but we wasn't exposed to certain things like what's being exposed to today.
Yeah.
You with me?
Definitely, it was. Yeah, growing up in.
So go on. I was gonna say, how did you find it, like growing up, like in Satan's or in Nottingham? Like, how was it back in the day to how you see it in today? How would you say it's changed? I said there was more unity back in the day in all communities.
Yeah, no, most definitely there was, and you know what? I think the respect levels were different as well. Like you would respect. You'd have respect for, like, whether it's your elders or certain figures in your community. You'd have respect. I think, and obviously respect is goes hand in hand. You get me? We respect. It comes with one another. You get me? It's not just we demand respect or you demand respect. But I think there was a lot more respect in those times. Like you say, unity. Growing up in St. Anne's, obviously. There's loads of things going on, different things, but I don't know. I seen it as I enjoyed my time growing up. There was obviously different little specks that people had or grievances that different areas out of each other at times, and so on and so on. But I enjoyed my time growing up. Like I was always, I think I always had a sense of knowing myself. You get me, knowing what I wanted to do. At times I got led astray, like we all do. You get me. Times I got led astray, but I think there was always something deep rooted within myself, which I think is in everyone. You get me. If they take time to search that out, that you get me, kept me focused and
kept me rooted and grounded.
Keep me rooted and grounded. They're the words I'm looking for. You get me.
And that was probably the music there.
Yeah.
That the talent.
That was my music.
And that was your love. So then you stuck onto that.
Exactly. For some, obviously they hadn't got that way of expression. So certain of the things I was seeing going on, whether it's the street corner or the this and that, but the back and forth. So you get me. I could put through music. Not necessarily that I have to be involved in it all of the time, but I could put through the music, different life stories, different episodes and dramas what are going on. I could deliver that through the music, and I think that helped me. And it helped me grow, and certain people around me as well. Like you say, people respect you for them type of things, and just for being yourself as well. I think sometimes you can put your foot into something what you're not really in, and the people who are really in that will recognize that. You get me, or you can say, you know what, that ain't for me, and at the same time they respect you for that as well. Better that I tell you that than say I'm there and I'm not really, my heart's not in it. So I think that's how I went about things.
That's true still, that's real talk, with me, because a lot of people, their heart's not really in it, but because of their crowds, they portray that they're in it, and then they get themselves into problems, and then obviously things just escalate, where obviously it was never that from the beginning, you with me? So it's about each one just dealing, like you said, with respect and love, and just know that obviously not everybody needs to be warring, not everybody should be warring, nobody should be warring when you get to the root of it, calm. You with me? Right about now, you with me, if everybody wasn't warring, you with me, and everybody worked together, do you know how powerful we would be as a unit and as a force? You with me? It's a mad thing, but obviously because of stupidity, you with me, and obviously ego and all those things there, this is why obviously things escalate, people go jail, lives get taken, and people's families get hurt. So these are the things what we're trying to prevent. We're trying to come together as elders, you with me, because obviously we're elders to some of you youngers out there, but at the same time we're still youngers to some of the elders what are watching too. But at the same time we're here to show them that the same way we can come out and show unity and love, you lot need to come out and support it and show unity and love, and as a family and as a community we can do more great things, you get me? So you're right, man, bring back that old schoolness where people used to work together, you with me, it didn't matter where you're from, you with me, we just know that we're one people, you with me, and we can rise up together, we can have our own buildings and properties and, you with me, businesses and etc, you with me, that's what it's about. Definitely.
Yes, school again for me was, I think I was never like the classroom type. I think the way school's set up is like, I don't think it's designed to make specialists. Because you've got, how it is, you've got so many different, they're doing history, they're doing English, maths. For when I was in school, I went PE, science, art, you know, so many different things, and some people can't draw for nothing, so putting them in an art class and making them have to do art for an hour, even if it's an hour a week, that's strenuous, so they're going to be like, they might switch off in that lesson, or they're going to be destructive, and it's not because they're a destructive person, it's because they've got no interest in this, and it's the same goes for like whether it's maths or whether it's English or science or sometimes physical education. For me, I was always on, anytime it's PE or physical education activities like that, I'm always bang on it, I'm focused first, ready, come on, let's do it, you get me? But other things where I might have struggled, I might add to the full day, you get me? Or a client, don't mean that I was a fool, it's just that I struggled there, but obviously the way school's set up, the teachers aren't, I don't think they're skilled enough to be able to recognise them type of things in young people, and then they say, oh, look, he's a destructive child, or you get me, he's not fitting into the.
Yeah, put him in the bottom class.
Put him in the bottom class. You get me with other people who are perceived to be disruptive, and then it just escalates from there. So with me, like I say, I didn't do too well in school. I was always alright at English though, and that was obviously that's due to like writing of words and reading and different things like that. I was always good with them type of things, and I say physical education, but didn't leave with very good grades or nothing. You get me? So it was it was just a time for me. I enjoyed school. You get me? I had a lot of fun, but most of that was about just the community with friends, and you get me? Joe used to run and Skype and all them different types of things there. You get me? Which I want to promote to anyone.
So what you say then, obviously you was only, why would you Skyping? Is that because like it says you had no interest in certain things, what they're telling you or the way they're teaching you? So if they was teaching you more things obviously about black history or cultural things about yourself or things what can benefit of your life by knowing where you come from to help you know where you're going or something essence, would you think that obviously would have made you not be skiving or made you have interest in the lesson?
Yeah, I think definitely, as you're saying, some people, I don't know, I think it's times in life at the same time for some people as well. So you can never say when you're going to be ready to, you get me, to start filling up your cup, you get me, or you never know when something's going to touch someone, you get me. So I think that should be included definitely, because it's not there at the minute, you get me, it's non-existent, but all these other things are. A lot of these things I haven't used since I left school anyway, so no time I've ever used any science really, or I might need to use numbers, but there's no H plus Y, I've never used H, you know, when you start with things like that. So I think it should definitely be included, but it's got to be with oneself when it resonates with them. That's when they'll go and do that research and get into the nuts and crannies of things like finding out about themselves and, you know, self-awareness and growth and, you know, the people and the oneness. I think you get me, it needs to be there because, like you say, there's history on Henry VIII and Margaret Thatcher and all these other types of things. So,
but then that's what I'm saying, because it's history on Margaret Thatcher and King Henry VIII. They're not telling you that before King Henry VIII or before these people, there was also black kings and queens.
No, not at all.
So they're missing out, they're misleading you. They're not. That's why you're in your history classes or your geography classes.
Yeah, most definitely.
And you're not having no interest because they're telling a pack of lies to you. Isn't it? So
I think it's difficult for us as a people because we're in a Western society where they control the education system and they portray, like I say, what they want it to be and what suits them. So that isn't the case. You know what I mean? But they're not gonna. If certain people want to be in power, why would they put that in there? Do you know what I mean? And then when they do, they'll do it like, it's Black History Month, so make it seem like, you know what I mean, they're putting something in, but that's not really,
that's not beneficial.
That's not really beneficial. That's just a cliche, like, it's Black History Month, you know, so you get me, for people to stay in power, why are they going to give you the fruits of the, you get me, the fruits of the, fruits what you need to reap to grow as a person.
So then how do we grow as a person in the sense of our children, like ourselves then? That's why we never knew ourselves. This is why the youths them on the road then may gangbang or whatnot, or the sisters them treat themselves the way they may treat themselves, because obviously they don't know that they're queens, we don't know that we're kings, and we don't know that we need to behave like royalty because we come from great people. You get me? So we act like fools and do foolish things, but if we was taught that from the get-go, and then if our children what are today, because we're gonna have children now, or we have got children now, so, or little nephews and nieces, they need to know that you lot can't be going on like fools, because you lot are good people and come from royal bloodline and good ancestors too. So if they don't know that, then they're gonna be even worse, because the further you go down generation, the reckless they get.
It's going further and further away from the truth. I think like the way that's going to happen is things like this, platforms like this, and teachings like some of the things what you're doing, and you know, like parents, we have to take responsibility, because at no time am I seeing that the school or the system's gonna change. They're creating, like the people to next fill the shops in Tesco. That's who they're designing. They're designing people, and I don't even think now yet, due to power and the way like the different hoods are set up. It's like not that it's just gonna be black or just gonna be black people. They don't care now who it is who fills up Tesco. You get me? It can be black or white people who fill up Tesco, or not to say that working at Tesco is a bad thing. It's like, well, you get my drift. Like McDonald's or anywhere, Experian, these type of they're just trying to build people to go and fill these positions.
Build up their corporations, basically.
That's it.
So obviously, it's time for obviously people to break off that and obviously use your own talents and your own skills and build up yourself, or invest in yourself, or invest in ones around you. Because obviously, they make sense. Obviously, like you said, it's good to obviously have a job and be working. But why are you going to be killing off yourself with these corporations? What don't care about you when you're going to be having bad back, bad leg, bad etc., heart attacks or whatever, and or get made redundant and whatever. That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Corporations was a much better word. Like I say, anyway, I've worked at all sorts. Next,
that's why I knew what you meant.
Yeah,
I said corporations.
I've worked at all these type of places, but like you say, them places, you start school and at 9 o'clock. You finish at 5. What do you do when you start work? When you leave school, you start work at 9 o'clock, you finish at 5. So what do you get at school? Disciplinary. You get me, you do something wrong, you step out of line. What do you get at work? You turn up late, disciplinary. You get me, it's the same concept. You're going into another school, like to be taught and told the regime and system of how you're gonna live your life, and then you do that too, like you're saying, till you got the bad backs, the aches, you get me, illness, physically tired.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it, and I can't see them wanting to change that. That's what I'm saying. Where these things would be good in the schools, but I can't see them putting that in there to help us recognize that. So it's about us recognize the people who have recognized certain things to them. You get me, pass on that knowledge and put the platforms on. You get me to feed that out there, and whether people think, oh yeah, whatever, you're just talking some other nonsense. Then they do, like I say. Every individual is gonna get their time when something resonates with them, and they hear something in what you're saying or in what I'm saying, or you get made to see something like, yeah, you know what? I've just been working for X, Y, Z just to pay off this what don't even really belong to me again. And you get me, it goes back. You get me, so yeah.
That's true. That's true. So then, do you think the way, like you said, in many aspects, you're saying it doesn't work for us in the way their regime is set up to us. So if their regime don't work for us, like the school systems, because we can, obviously you've had that experience, I've had that experience, and some of the youth them of today are having that experience even worse.
Yeah.
You get me? So how do we as a community then, how do we change that? What do the elders do? What do we need to do as a people? You get me? To rise back up or to educate the youth them. Obviously, yeah, like you said, platforms like these, but it needs more people to either support platforms like these or build up platforms like these themselves, and obviously each one support each other.
Yeah, I think, like you say, it's just got to come with collective energy and building platforms that teach these things. Like, as long as if it's being taught, like, then that's all you can do. That's what you can do. You can put the message out there. You can put whatever out there. But like I say, it's the pull in it, the pull of society, and the pull of, you get me, the truth and your own truths. You get me. It's a battle. It's a battlefield, because not in a sense of, you get me, like in a sense of, there's things going on, but there's a battlefield in the sense of, like, this, the pull of society and what they are feeding you to want and wanting you to desire, the things that they want you to desire. You get me? Sometimes they're drawing you away from yourself, more time they're drawing you away from yourself, more time they're drawing you away from the teachings, you get me? So a book, you get me, what you read, or the liquor, you get me, at the weekend. And like I say, we all dip in and out of different things, you know what I mean? But at the same time, there's something there, like you say, that keeps you rooted and it gives you a sense of understanding. So only platforms like this, like obviously CRS, you've got your Take Ones where they're doing workshops with kids who are the schools saying that they're hard to reach and hard to deal with, but when I'm at the studio I can't see how this kid's hard to reach or hard to deal with, because you get me, we're dialoguing fine and they're very creative, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just about understanding it. Maybe some of the teachers and different people in positions of power in this school system and work just simply don't understand certain types of people, or you get me, certain races and certain cultural differences. They don't understand it, so you can't expect them to, like, you get me. I understand a lot of the time that they don't understand. Understand that they don't understand, and that you've got to get it together.
It's bigger than some of them.
Yeah, it's bigger than them. They don't understand. They don't get it. They don't even get it. So we've got to get it together. You get me, for ourselves, and be putting on, and be putting things on, setting things up. You get me, and giving teachings, putting out certain music. You get me, events. It's coming together and having like a wholeness and a oneness at the same time as well. You get me, because I don't know. It's funny because anytime people see that, oh, there's like it's a black movement, oh, it's just a black movement, but there's loads of different movements. There's Asian movements, or you get me, just things for what Asian people want to go to, just to communicate. When like black people decide to do so, it's like it becomes like it's a bad thing, or you get me. Oh, why is it like that? But why can't they just do like that? Because that's just what it is. There's no problem with white people having you get me, a gathering or a chat. You get me. There's no problem with that with any other races. So I think that's all. We just gotta get past that and keep
our problems and our issues. So we, as a black family tree and a black people, should need to come together. It doesn't, like you said, we shouldn't have to care about what other people think. We just know that we as a nation, we as a people, it's that time to stand up together and say enough is enough. Too much killing, too much lies, too much everything what's gone on us. You admit? So we've all been affected some way, somehow. You know, so that us what can break that Willie Lynch theory and them spells what the ancestors was going through, Carl. We are the living ancestors of today. You admit? If you want to obviously fulfill what your ancestors left behind for you, you admit? Or you can just be asleep, you admit? Just like, you admit? Don't want to be rude, but like a dumb nigga, you admit? We're obviously time to be wise in here, you admit? Get me? Wise up to rise up, you admit? The only way, you admit? So if you was like to do some like tunes with the people them in Nottingham or even outside of Nottingham, then who do you say like you would like to make some music with? Like, who do you think's influential at the moment? Outside.
Yeah.
Even inside as
even
well.
Inside
because do you know what? Because you said was it Bugsy T and them man run. You with me? Them man are good and talented, you with me? And from Nottingham, so I have to salute them, and the youngest too. So you lot, obviously, by getting signed, you with me? You're putting Nottingham on the platform, and it's a good look for you, you with me? But at the same time, please, as you're going along and your career's getting more successful, you with me? Don't forget where you come from, don't forget yourself, you with me? And just know that at the end of the day, spread some love in the community and amongst your people, like you have been doing, but continue doing it, you with me? And also, because you got youngsters what follow you as well, because you're gonna be elders to some youngsters as well. Try not mislead the youngsters, you with me? Give them some positivity to obviously, because you're gonna be role models, you with me yourself, you with me? Because you're inspiring people. So as you're role models and inspiring the youngsters underneath yourself or youths your age, you with me? Give them something positive, you with me, to say, you know what, you with me? That's some real shit there, you with me? Because sometimes when you're just promoting like the gang life thing and them things there, it's a good tune, it's hype, it's bubbly, it gives you that vibe. But at the same time, you with me? Certain money living them lives, you with me? We have lived them lives, so when we live them lives, we know that we hurt people. People get hurt, family members get hurt, and these are the things what we are trying to obviously prevent and stop as a black people, you with me? So we're not trying to highlight them things there, you with me? That's not positive, you with me? That's not glamorizing, you with me? It's not nice. But at the same time, keep up the positivity and continue the vibe and the buzz, cause it's real, and it's, like I said, it's about Nottingham people, them getting your talent out there, getting seen and doing well and doing good, man. So it's love, it's still love, you with me?
I think with them two, they're definitely deep set with like...
And they're young as well, you with me? They still got to grow, you with me?
Yeah, they definitely, they love Nottingham, you get me? They love Nottingham, like Nottingham's their you get me, they're at home, you get me. So I know them two will continue to represent and do great things, and majority of the time their vibes like bubbly, them two bubbliest, you get me, bubbliest brothers, you get me, will always come with good vibes, and you get me, and they've got a great following, you get me. So yeah man, them two will do good things.
Yeah man, for real. So
yeah, like who was you saying, who to work with? My Nottingham, just outside of Nottingham, probably Rep 32 is my. You get me? Even though he's not the most glorified, he got good following and he does good numbers. You get me? Yeah. He's probably my. You get me? Someone who I would love to work with. You get me? Like Rep 32. Yeah, I'd say yeah. Besides that, I'm not really too sure. Local, I'm sure I'm forgetting people. You know, is what is. Yeah, there's plenty of people who I'm in the process of working with anyway as well in Nottingham. You get me, and then around in the different areas. So, but yeah, I can only say Rich 32. Someone who comes to mind straight away. You get me. Anything else is like I'm gonna have to look for him for kind of forcing.
And it's kind of like on, I would say, levels anyway. Your levels in the sense of storytelling.
Yeah.
You with me? Because you're a storyteller, and obviously right about now, his storytelling is mad crazy right about now.
It's ridiculous.
So salute to man like Rich because them man doing positive things, you with me, them man are big in the game, you with me, so yeah man, serious. So what do you think really like, I don't know, missing them? What can we do as a people then to like connect and spread like more love on the streets then, and make the youths them know that this is the way forward, and make them, because some of the youths them are making money on the roads. So if you're making money on the roads, yeah, why aren't you doing constructive things with your money on the roads? But obviously the youths them will just be doing foolishness, man are buying whistles, man are buying this, that or the other, you with me? And then obviously, because man ain't got no good guidance, that's what it is, it's called about guidance. Obviously man are warring each other, where obviously when you're warring each other, you're losing your pee, then you're putting yourself on the line for your family, losing your family and friends, you with me? And also you're putting your life on risk because you're gonna may lose your life, either by death or by jail anyway, you with me? So how do we break that cycle, how do we break that spell and say, you know what, because we know that enough's enough, you with me? When you go to, when we talk about stands now, you with me, we've got so many different stands, you get me? Never mind obviously in the city as alone, you with me? So obviously that's why I like to obviously show the people in the community that me as a rider, we can sit down with stands. You see me sit down with different stands, man, different bases, man, different any man, because right about now I'm trying to show this is how we need to be: love, unity, you with me, respect, you with me. They know where two-tone don't see me or I don't see two-tone, and it's not love, it's always love, you with me? Naturally, you with me, and that's how it is. He should always show me love, and obviously I always love and respect him for them things there, because obviously he didn't know me. Obviously you've probably heard of me from other man them, but obviously at the same time, you with me, because obviously he's heard of who man is. He's just like, you know what, real niggas show real niggas love, so that's how we kept it like that, you with me? So that's why he's here today, to show man, you lot to get involved too, man, from St. Anne's, you with me? You lot can, you get me? You lot can come down and sit down and do an interview, you get me, at the Kingdom spot, because you're a king. If you're a real king, you'll do real shit, and that's what I'm trying to say to man, you get me? Real generals do real things. Everybody want to play that bad boy life, but yo, you with me? Hop off that bad boy thing and come and step forward and say, you know what? It's time to build up in it, you with me? That's what it is, you get me? It's really right, you with me? Enough of us that don't bear fuckery on the roadside, you with me? Obviously, I was even shouting the freaking bomber as well, shout out and salute bomber at the same time, you with me?
Doing some good works.
Doing some good works, you get me? Doing his thing, you with me? Need an interview as well, so when you see this, man, I shout at you out as well, come and holler at your boy, you with me? Yo, right about now, yeah, all the generals, line up, man, you with me? Because the youth them are doing crazy things to each other, you with me? And we've been through it ourselves, our generation, you with me? And if the elders don't want to do nothing, obviously we can make a difference, you with me? By obviously being real elders, real generals, and real role models. You with me?
An example.
And being an example. You with me? You're right, fam. You with me? That's what it's about. Just unifying. You with me? Cause you with me? No one's better than nobody. Anybody can do anything. You with me? But while we doing that, you with me? Feds are still gonna pull you.
Yeah,
Feds are still gonna pull me. Feds are still gonna harass you. Feds are still gonna harass me.
Playing into their hands.
Playing into their hands, you with me? Huh? When Babylon's running up and got ops on this man and that man, you with me? Licking people's mum's yard down and or your baby mum's yard or your own yard down and you with me? Taking you whatever you got and whatever and you're getting craped up, you with me? Huh? They don't give a fuck about you, they don't give a fuck about me, they don't give a fuck about none of us, you with me? Huh? We need to start caring about ourselves and each other, you with me? Huh? Having that lion pride, you may know that each brother's keepers, you with me? Huh? So if they touch one of you, they touch one of us. That's how it is, you with me? Huh? We're not telling everybody they have to be best friends and tear me up and kiss up and hug up and be up each other. You with me? Nah, but respect each other, you with me? If you see a man, don't be like this staring and you get me? Just love in it, just good truth, man. You with me? Huh? All that watch face thing and all them things have to done out, you mean? It should be done out, you get me? We're bigger than that, you get me? We're wiser than that, you get me? Only them man who's not wise will be do them things there, you know, straight like that, so.
Because from a look, where does it end? Like from a little, that's as trivial as it is, you know, like it can start from a look, a girl, you get me, a little dispute, a stand on toe, and someone ends up dead. Like how many stories has there been where if you really got back to why a person's died, it could have started from a man standing on someone's toe. You get me?
Enough times it did.
Enough times it did, you get me? Or someone got juked up, intensive care, it started from a man, you get me? Like something so trivial, you get me? So that's what I think we've got to start doing is when you ask the question like what can we do, you get me? Like let's get into what are we even what's the distributor about? What's it over? What, because you live in a different area to me?
Just ignorance. That's what it is. Man have to break off that ignorance. It doesn't matter where nobody from. That's what it boils down to. Ignorance and ego. You with me? You come from this part, or you're from that part. You with me? You're fuck your ends, or you say fuck my ends. Nah, you get me? We're nuts. You get me? And let's move like nuts. You with me? Huh? We're black people. Let's move like black people. Huh? So that's what it is. It don't matter where you're from. You with me? What hood you from or what city you from? You get me? We need to burn out the ignorance and just know that yo, you get me? We've been suppressed for so long. We've been held down for so long. The Asian community, the white community, the Chinese community. This is why the Chinese man is moving into Jamaica doing what he's doing. This is why the Asian man is moving into Africa doing what he's doing. You see what we're saying? We talk small but we talk big too, cause it affects us on a big scale. You with me? Because if we can't work together on the small scale, that's why they take the piss on the big scale. You with me? This is why we can't work together to even know how to live. We're too busy warring each other, or watching each other, or bad-minding each other. They're slowly but surely killing and poisoning in your foods, in your drinks, in many ways and forms. And why they're doing that, we're sending our children to their schools, while we're working, like we said, for their corporations, and they're dumbing your children down. So one way or one form, they're getting you and they're getting your children, they're killing us all. You with me? Yo, stop the idiotness, man, and start getting your mind right. You with me, Paul? If you've got any street education, this is the street education to have. You with me? Real niggas do real things. Real soldiers do real things. You with me? And if we're doing real things, we have to protect ourselves and our family. You with me? Our direct family and our indirect family, because we are one family, because we're one nation and one people. So that's what it is, man. You with me? Serious. Cause I was talking to I think I was there with you before, like you said, we was rolling the cameras and we were saying that it's about time that we get shown for positivity and things, because obviously, like yourself, I know that obviously if people who don't know man like tutoring, he does more than just the music. You with me? He does community work as well. You with me? He's like does mentoring for like youth. Obviously, he does many things. You with me? So as I know you do good things in the community. But for those who don't know you, they might just think, well, I only see my man, like say if it's not like, remember you'll be at different scenes. I might only see my partying in the clubs or rare, because they don't know that obviously you do more than that. You give back, you do your goodness. So when when we do our things now, we only get recognition for our badness.
Yeah,
because our badness gets obviously projected out there. Highlighted and they chat about the badness. But when you do goodness, how many people are saying, oh yeah, Two Tone's about this, or Two Tone, oh this youth today, or he did this for the community, or you with me? People may not know you of that. So it's time for us as a whole to acknowledge the good works what people like Two Tone do, people like myself doing. There's many other brothers out there, man like Kai, salute Kai, you with me? There's many that Dan as well, been doing it for years, you with me? So I think now, these men who have been doing these things, yeah, and are still doing these things, they've been appointed to do what they're doing for a reason, you with me? Because all these men have got respect in their ends and in their community from the youngsters, you with me? So we have to come to some formulation now. We have to get ourselves right now. You with me? That's when the youth then making take us like probably serious. You with me? When we start to come together, like obviously these are just like the beginnings. You get me? But the more and more we come together now as one generation now, it's for us to obviously make the manifestation of the younger generation to come true. Because nobody pulled us together. Like when we were talking about, you got Radford, Courtney, and you got St. Anne's Trevor, which are two brothers, and as elders we love and support Courtney all day, and you lot as St. Anne's support and love Trevor. So as two brothers, they could have done a mad thing in nothing, but because they haven't, as elders, now we are left to our own devices and domains, really. So now it's for us now to be the next elders to know who knows why they does better, who can do better. Where obviously not to say they can't do better, because they can do powerful and great things. But if they're not and they can't see the vision yet, maybe it takes us to show them, and then maybe it will inspire them as well. You with me? So obviously, like I was saying, when we come together now as the new generation, new elders now from Radford, from St. Anne's, from obviously Baseford, you with me, shout out man like Rose, all the elders and meadows come together. Hey look, when we come together and sit down, I'm just saying like the Westminster have their round table. We have our Nottingham round table, you with me? Or if we're not even bigger, we have a city round table. When we come together, all real people who are willing to make this change in their community now, that's when we can build up that family tree and that oneness and do some proper works in the community, you with me? And be that power force, you with me? And make that change. You with me?
Definitely.
But I say the elders need to come out and support us too on these things here, you with me? So
I think like you say, the people in, like ourselves, in positions that, you know, you're respected by your communities and different things. Just be an example, but not only be an example, like if, like you say, you've reached out to me today, you get me, to come through. I said we're gonna get together, we're gonna rap, you get me? So start taking the steps, you get me? It's not just about, we're gonna talk about these things. Start taking steps towards, you know what I mean, actually building, doing more together. You get me? Like you say, if certain people that have been influential in my life, it could have went a different way, you get me? Definitely. So you get me? And even now, people are still influencing my life. So let's have an influence, let's have a positive influence on these young people's lives, you get me? From elder to younger, you get me? Because we can, you get me? Maybe not everyone, like I said, maybe not everyone's gonna change, but if we save one person, lead by example. If you save one person's life, you get me, then that's a life saved, you get me? If you teach someone, you get me, that they're much more than what they believe they are, that's one more person that knows, you get me? Like, you get me? I'm a great, you get me? I can do great things, you get me? And that's an influence, you get me? It's not to say we're gonna be able to change 50,000 young people, you get me? But you get me? If we can change 100 together, then let's do that together, you get me? Because I can change 2, you get me? You can change 6. Like
it's a domino effect.
It's a domino effect, you get me? So that's what I would say. Let's have an influence and take steps towards, you get me? Making us a better race, even a better community, you get me? And they're stronger.
Definitely. So obviously, respect for coming out, you get me? Respect for what you don't know, you get me? Too, you get me? So check out Two Tone projects. Yeah, if you want to tell them any projects what you got coming up in line,
Yeah,
to look out for.
Yeah, you can look out for the like I said, the Danny Welbeck video. Obviously, you can check out the Educated Fool stuff on Twitter and on Instagram. You get me, there's Two Tone Music. You get me, and all the projects. It's all connected up anyway, so you can find that.
So subscribe to his things, support him. Yeah, cause one of the real Nottingham brothers, you with me? Real lion from the get-go, real king, you get me? So right about now, that's what it's about. Spreading real love, real generals do real things, real generalesses, the queens, you get me? Support the kings, man, you with me? That's what it is, you with me? We're trying to support the queens need to support the kings, and the kings need to support the kings too. No hating thing, you with me? More love, more power, more unity in the community. This is street education, you with me? Two Tone in the kingdom spot, Nottingham, you with me? I'm gonna ask you, you're gonna leave with a little poetry, a little freestyle for them.
Yeah.
Get me?
Okay.
It's up to you. You can get them a poetry or a freestyle. I can give you an instrumental. It's up to you.
I could just go straight off.
The love runs deep from when we used to build up a medley with one sheet. Top and tail ahead of a long week. Flip a coin, see you was on T, yeah. On street, pedals are on feet. Concrete, respect or you can't eat. Now I'm on the blower, got Melanie once green. 0.8, 1.3s, 1.7 if you was my code D. Now the snow lines banging, they're coming in on skis. I don't wanna hear about anything off key. Cut from the basher, you got cheap. Think I gone clean, my cloth still got grease. Got bits like a mic and a pop shield. Had my first child with Rush. I don't care about the Rothschilds, they're corrupt. I'm in the city where they want pounds, birds and buzz. I'm busy trying to get my Raheem Sterling up. They wanna front, they keep it classy in the club. Don't make me at you on the boss, you're not actually the one. Keep it casual, yeah, I'm calm. See, I'm just passing like a storm, different pattern when I roll. I see these badges like a mole. They think that I'm past tense, they just tense cause I'm involved. Thinking out of the flesh like I evolved. Could say I'm one of the best, but that's a hoax. Untouchable, nobody's next to me, I'm ghost. They just wanna jump on the net, that's not my goal. You should have a bit of respect, check out the mold. Know when the surface is wet, you gotta hold. Like when I told her to text, I'm on the phone. Girl, I know that you ready and wet, and you're alone, and you want more affection and press, this ain't a show. The best secrets are kept up in your dome. Your best bet's giving me neck to keep me home. On my deathbed, they want me F with that. I post some of my best friends, never come checkmate when I'm bored. Still got a couple of flexes, that's a pawn. She knows I'm gonna finesse, hung like a horse. Surrounded by kings and queens, I wanna fall. Who would've fought for me when I was flawed? Still didn't reach my peak, I had to fall. Now I got a couple of pieces in my foot, and the rehab's making it easier to walk. Nobody's gonna be E-man when I'm all. As long as he left with the bruise, you had to go. Might go back up to Bijou with a pole. Take down Polish Pete and have a throw. Nah, that wouldn't be me, live for the moment. Still breathing easy, staying focused. Just me and my ego getting roasted. Real recognize real, that's still a quote then. How they live behind the screen ain't getting posted. 6 nights a week, they're on the rosy. 2 crates of cleat for my proposal. We arranged to meet, we ain't get noble. Nah, that ain't really for me, I like my soul food. 2 Jamaican things at my disposal. Fix me a plate of wings, a bag of protein. A nice place to sleep when I get local. Plus she's a hell of a beat, she very vocal. Claiming social and works in a hotel, I rate that. Nobody caters when the food's low. But a baby father's got a Hublot Nouveau, 80 sparklers for the gooses. Shooters, stay in the car, yeah, they're secluded. Just in case the party needs a pooper. Scooper, by the bar, make my move then. Ruthless, I'm at the barbers, get my usual. Routine check with Carlos, got a new look. That's where I park so many students. Retail, gotta look sharp for my recruitment. These days the target's so elusive. Elizabeth's in the marketplace booming. You're foolish. If you rush, I can't be the boss, you ain't Putin.